Here we go. This is your final project for the unit. What is blood made of? This week, as a part of our continued study of the human body, we are learning about the parts of our blood circulatory system. All right, let's talk about the definitions. Let's review this. Blood vessel, a tubular structure carrying blood through the tissues and organs, vein, artery, capillary. Plasma, the fluid part of the blood, yellow. Okay, 92% water, 7% protein, 1% minerals, sugar, vitamins, hormones, enzymes. White blood cells, part of the immune system that are involved in protecting the body, okay, against infectious disease and foreign invaders. Red blood cell, oxygen transporters to the body's tissues. As you know, or you should know, it's the most common type of blood cell. Finally, the platelet. Okay, this clots with the white blood cells, the clotting element of the white blood cell. As you can see, I have a nice graphic here giving you visual learners something to compare to. All right, let's talk about the makeup of our blood. Again, visually, 55% plasma, white blood cells and platelets, less than 1%. Red blood cells, 45%. All right, let's talk about some additional info that might be on the test. Normal blood clots, how long? 4 minutes, quick. Okay. If blood's clot at the wrong place, what can it cause? Strokes, heart attack. 4 basic blood types are OA, B, and then AB. Do you know what blood type you are? What type of blood is the universal donor? Type O. And then what is the amount of quarts in the human body? 5. All right, let's talk about the next slide here. Parts of the blood, again, red blood cells, platelets, white blood cells. I really like this visualization because in this lab we're doing today, it's going to really break it down. Remember that I demonstrated some illustrations to you prior to this week and showed you some things under the microscope. You got your microscopes out, we looked underneath, you saw this. It should be familiar to you. All right, let's talk about the lab. Materials that we'll be using. A jar of yellow water, some Cheerios, some small white marshmallows. No eating this. Okay? A salt shaker you'll be sharing in your group. Red food coloring. Okay, and then finally, some purple porcupine balls. All right, you see this. All right, let's question some things. I want you to ask yourself, what color is your blood when it comes out of a cut or scrape? Okay, even though your blood looks red, the liquid part of it is actually yellow, and it's called plasma. Okay, I want you to look at this jar of yellow water, and that is what plasma should look like. Let's talk about some other steps and perform this lab together. Okay. You're going to combine the water, 2 drops of the yellow food coloring, and a bit of salt. Okay. The salt represents the minerals and chemicals. I want you to shake a little salt from the shaker into the yellow plasma aka yellow water. You're going to pour the red blood cells, the Cheerios, into the jar. I want you to squirt a small squirt, like 2 pinches, it goes a long way, of red food coloring. Then I want you to pour the white marshmallows that are going to be the white cells into a jar, into the same jar, sorry. Okay, finally, we're going to pour the purple porcupine balls into the jar. So you're putting all of these things into one jar. Okay, and it's the Cheerios, the food coloring, the marshmallows, and the porcupine balls are all representing, obviously, parts of the blood. So this is going to take a little bit. I will come around and watch what you're doing, and we'll review the steps again. Okay, once we're done, I want you to observe. There's a picture here of what it should look like. Let's talk about it a little bit. Okay, there are billions of red blood cells that look like little donuts without a hole. And those are the Cheerios that you see. And the Cheerios' job, the red blood cells' job, are to carry the oxygen. There are so many of them floating in the plasma that's why the reason the blood looks red. So our blood is so overloaded with red blood cells. That's the reason our blood is overwhelmingly red. Okay? Next, let's talk about the white blood cells, quote unquote, the marshmallows. And their job is to fight the germs of disease. They're super important. Okay, finally, let's talk about the platelets. Those are the purple porcupine balls, and they stop the bleeding when we get injured. They clot us. They create the scabs. Okay? Remember in our microscope photo previously, the platelets somewhat represent spiny balls when we looked at it up close, so that's why they're purplish. Okay? As you can see, the white blood cells are really important. They are much rarer than the red blood cells. The white blood cells fight off the germs and diseases. Thank you.